About, the two black guys. Just what was your reaction kind of seeing, obviously, the knot go down your head, but then the black eyes kind of form?
Yeah, well, that was tragic. But I mean, it's at this point, it's unfortunately won't be able to hide it. People know, so just rolling with it.
Were you able to hide it for the photo shoots?
The makeup artist did a really, really, really good job. So when it happened, I had a photo shoot on Wednesday on our off day. So I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna be looking horrible. And originally I was like, I just need to get the swelling to go down in my forehead. So I put a patch, slept with it. The next day, woke up and I was like, okay, the bump is almost gone, but now I have two black eyes. So
Lexie Hull takes an elbow to the face, crashes to the floor, holds her head in pain, and somehow the foul goes against her. What just happened? Why are the officiating standards so wildly inconsistent when the Indiana Fever are already down a half their team? If you watch the replay, you're probably still confused, but what Hull said afterward might just change how fans look at WNBA accountability altogether. This is way bigger than a single foul call.
And people that hadn't met me before were like, oh, I can't even tell. I'm like, okay, that's good. We'll take it. But I'm hoping they'll do some editing in the post.
Yeah, I imagine on Tuesday you got checked for concussion, facial fracture. Just how much of a sigh of relief was it that you didn't have concussion or any kind of fracture?
Obviously, it could have been a lot worse. And I'm grateful for the people online wanting to check on me and make sure that I'm okay. But I am okay. I've been fully checked out. So
yeah, and Steph mentioned, whenever she sees you with the two black eyes, she smiles.
Yeah, honestly, when it happened, I was like relieved because I could feel myself like I was good to go. Like I felt completely with it. They did all the tests they needed to do and put ice on it right away, try to keep the swelling down. But I felt good knowing that
It's about respect, protection, and whether shorthanded players are being left exposed on purpose. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now back to the video.
And when I'm playing, I forget about it, and then I go and look at the mirror. I'm like, oh shit, they're still there. So yeah, I don't really think too much about it because I don't necessarily feel them all the time.
Yeah, and you're still able to see completely fine?
Yep.
Right.
Nothing's changed.
In a way, because it just exemplifies your toughness. Do you feel tough in these kinds of situations with these two black eyes?
I mean, that's what people keep telling me. Every time she sees me, she smiles and then she says, I'm so sorry. I'm like, you don't need to be sorry. This is what it is.
The moment that set everything off was almost too wild to process. Lexie Hull got smashed by a flying elbow, dropped straight to the court, and instinctively grabbed her face like she had just taken the worst shot of the night. Everyone watching thought the whistle would blow in her favor. That's the natural call. Somebody gets rocked in the head like that, you expect at least an offensive foul, maybe even a review for something harsher. But instead, the ref turned, pointed at Hull, and handed her the foul. The building froze for a second because nobody could believe what they just saw. The Fever bench instantly shot up like they were ready to storm the floor. Teammates were screaming, arms flying in disbelief, and fans had their jaws hanging open. I mean, think about it. Your player goes down holding her face, she's shaken from an obvious elbow, and somehow the punishment falls on her. The shock from the arena was so loud it actually overpowered the next possession.
What the bleep is happening here? I'm going to need this team to act just a tiny bit bothered when one of their teammates gets clocked. Let's just take a look. Oh, you ain't going to get me on the strikes of the copyrights. So boom, right there, that's it. The right straight to the kisser slash nostril area. Just standing around staring, ? It makes them look soft. Oh, interesting. So we know the play.
Like everyone was still stuck replaying it in their heads. Even the broadcast booth was rattled because they kept circling the replay, showing over and over how Hull clearly took contact first. What makes it worse is the inconsistency. You've seen calls like this before in other games. When a player gets caught in the face by an elbow, the game usually halts. There's a quick huddle, the refs make a point of protecting the injured player, and 9 times out of 10, the foul swings on the aggressor. That's the standard everyone expects. That's how the league has gotten through brutal physical moments in the past.
Somebody asked something very interesting in the aftermath of last night's game. When a teammate, an Indiana Fever teammate, in this case, said teammate Lexie Hull, takes a damn, where in the hell, and look, the person that brought it up didn't bring it up this way, but you know me, where in the H/hell, where in the depths of Hades, damn Dusty Rhodes, Bionic Elbow, Cody Rhodes, the American Nightmare, no, the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, when they take a Bionic Elbow right to the nose plate.
But in this game, the standard disappeared. Hull suffered, and instead of backing her up, the refs punished her. That's the kind of thing that drives players, coaches, and fans insane. So you have to ask, why are these rules bending whenever it's the Indiana Fever taking the hit? Because it isn't just this one play, and anyone watching this team night after night knows it. The Fever have been hammered physically all season, and every time a superstar goes down, it feels like the calls get lighter instead of tougher. Hull's elbow wasn't just a freak accident. It played directly into the narrative that Indiana players aren't being shielded like other stars around the league. The reason this one stung so much is because the Fever are already running with a skeleton crew. Caitlin Clark sidelined, Lexie trying to hold her ground in heavy minutes. Other guards like Cunningham, Coulson, and McDonald not at full health or out entirely. The roster is thin, and that means every hit lands heavier. When Hull goes down from an elbow like that, you're not just losing a possession. You're watching one of the last rotation players get physically punished in a game that's already stacked against them. And that's not exaggeration, because even the commentators picked up on the ridiculous imbalance in real time. They pointed their cameras at the Fever bench, and you could see it clear as day. Faces twisted in frustration, hands thrown in the air, coaches staring in disbelief. The whole scene basically broadcast to the world that this wasn't just a missed call. It looked blatantly unfair, and it fit into a wider picture the team has been living through all year. Think back on their season. Time and again, Indiana players get lit up on defense, shoved on rebounds, clipped on drives, and yet half those whistles never get blown. Each moment by itself doesn't sound too dramatic, but string them together, and a pattern forms. Hull's foul after the elbow almost felt like the poster child for everything the Fever have been complaining about. Undercut possessions, ignored contact, and officials who don't seem to value their safety. Now fans can see why this wasn't just an elbow and a bad whistle. This was a symbol. It was a perfect example of why Fever players have started to feel exposed on the court. Like their health isn't as protected as their opponents. That elbow might have been the loudest evidence yet, the turning point that shifted frustration into actual public pushback. And this is exactly where Lexie Hull herself finally stepped up to speak, breaking her silence on what the players have been forced to deal with. Lexie Hull speaking out after that elbow wasn't just about her own frustration. She made it clear this is about protecting every player who steps on the court. No one wants to feel like safety depends on which jersey you're wearing. That's where fans come in. Do you think the refs have been unfair with the Fever this year? And if so, what should actually change? Because if Indiana keeps grinding through this storm and still fights their way into the postseason, it won't just be another playoff trip. It could be remembered as one of the hardest battles in WNBA history.